Welcome
Welcome.
to Shade in the City. I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nose.
and today we are jumping into very late review of episode 11 of the Real Housewives of Dubai. So please make sure if you have not already that you hit that like button.
You hit the subscribe button.
And I just want to give a shout out to our newest subscriber. Apparently, we got that last night from posting late ass Dubai reviews, but we appreciate the love. And she clearly liked the review. She's apparently an Ion fan as well. So we had a little back and forth last night. So that was
Let's
cool.
let's get it right. Chanel Ion fan.
Right. Oh, you're but yes, guys. So let's get into episode 11 before we gotta watch 12. And let's get into it and let's get shady. Now, Stansbury is leaving the table from the argument with Ion. Now, Brooks goes after her and basically tells her, no, boo-boo, we're not going to do this. This is your moment to talk this out and basically not fight because we're on vacation. Basically, speak less and listen more and back down. The same thing you be telling me. I said, well, okay, Brooks, give it to her. Give it to her. Now, I hope you're going to keep that same energy. But I now, Ion asked the other girls, there, which would be Sarah, Lisa, and Nina at this point that are still at the table. And she's like, how many times has she asked me the same question? And shout out to the new subscriber who actually broke it down and explained, because again, as you know from the last review, I couldn't figure out what the hell Ion was so mad about.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess basically after it was broken down so it can officially and forever be broke, she was upset that Stansbury kept asking her what the hell she does and tries to make it seem like she don't do shit.
Like discounting her accolades. Like she ain't
right, discounting her accolades. Especially when she got the renter boyfriend over here or a renter husband. So I could understand. It made a little bit more sense at that point.
Not the renter husband.
So, it made a little more sense at that point.
Then Nina decides to go over and check in on Stansbury. And Stansbury is like, oh, now you got something to say? Because you was real hush mouth over there. And lets her know, you can't be Switzerland all the time. And Nina's like, well, I was trying to get you guys to be quiet so there could be some understanding.
Now, I did miss that part. I didn't see Stansbury say that to her. I missed her saying that to Nina.
Oh, yeah. She went in. She was like, oh, now you got a voice? Oh, okay. Well, so, Nina likes to be, very kumbaya and,
One with her sage and her, what is it? What's the other stuff?
I don't, girl.
I can't think of it
right. It ain't in my notes right now.
Right. It's not.
So Lisa is also over there talking to Ion like, girl, you can't be telling people you more successful than them. Mm-hmm. Whether you are or you're not, or you think you are or you're not.
And if you are, and if you know that, be that. You ain't gotta
exactly.
You ain't gotta tell everybody, boo. We know.
She's like basically who you
are from episode 1, boo.
Right? So she's basically like, of course, Ion is more successful than her. She's like, the pages of Vogue versus the pages of Instagram. Need she say more? Okay. But she says she's also not that friend that's going to gas you up when you're wrong. So you know what? Ion decides, you know what? After, Lisa tells her, we need to be gracious. It is her vacation. She did invite us, and this is her trip. So Ion decides, you know what? Maybe I should go over there and apologize and, speak my piece. So she goes over there immediately. Stansberry starts getting up, like she don't want to talk. She's like, "Oh, okay, you don't want to do this?" Like, all right, well, and like they're like, "No, no, no, look, sit down, just listen to what she got to say." She was like, "I was coming over here to be nice, okay, but really, you asked me 3 times what I do, and maybe I could have handled it differently. I could have handled it better, but I did want to let you know that I apologize. I'm enjoying myself, and I want to thank you for inviting me. And I feel like we were in a good place. And we were working on our relationship." Stansberry kind of dismissed her. She's
Oh,
like, okay.
Stansberry I don't even think she excused herself. She legit got up and walked away.
No, she did. She
Oh,
said,
she did excuse
I think
herself?
she said like she was gonna go lay down, and she did kind of thank her for saying thank you, but I don't think it was real genuine.
No.
Then Nina also tells the ladies, which we know that she saw her friend leaving off in the little golf
But they
buggy.
sleeping in the same house or same room. So
She saw her friend leaving, crying and shit. So she tells the ladies, I don't feel really good. I'm gonna go take a shower. And look, Brooks is like, bitch, bye. Like, okay, fine. You wanna go, girl. I don't even give a damn. Like,
and all the
okay,
ladies
bye.
irritated by
She was
it.
giving real, she was giving real energy, like, all right, we'll get the hell out of here. Um,
Lisa
so
is confused as to why all of a sudden Nina is so up Stansberry's butt when she was the one that warned her and all the other girls about Stansberry.
mhm,
And so now they're all kind of looking at her funny. And basically Brooks feels the same way. She feels like she could have encouraged Stansberry to stay or come back to the table, but instead, what she said, she packed up
her handbag and her goodies.
packed up in the goodie bag and was ready to go.
And Lisa says that Nina is a real social climber, but she doesn't know how far she plans to get climbing this little white picket fence. Well, then Stansberry, she gets back to her room. She's super emotional. She decides to call Sergio. All
Did you see emotional? Because I didn't see not one tear.
well, she sounded like she was crying over the phone. And Sergio thought she was crying too.
Her makeup looked bad, so maybe that's what they were trying to do, but it wasn't giving crying for real.
We know she's not the emotional type.
It was given I rubbed my eyes too much and I smudged my makeup to make it
We
look.
know she has a cold heart, okay? We know she's a little bit heartless. So
And it
when
was
she
really, and my notes say she called Sergio and she was giving real Karen kind of vibes, and that's where I left it.
Karen vibes. Why Karen vibes?
It's Chanel again. Of course, Chanel's attacking me again. It's Chanel. You didn't think that sounded a little Karenish? Just saying.
I wouldn't give that to Karen. I wouldn't make that Karen.
Okay, I'm sorry, Susie. We'll give it to Susie.
It could be a Susie.
Okay. So they get back to the house and they confront Nina basically about how she's like switching up all of a sudden. That's what I got. So I don't know if I skipped super far ahead, but that's what I got. They basically sit down with Nina and everybody is they were supposed to be I guess going to smoke hookah or hashish or whatever.
Shisha.
And Sarah brings up, actually, yeah, it was Sarah that was sitting down with Ion and Nina, and she brings up how the ladies felt some type of way
about Nina leaving.
And then she's like, and Ion's like, I never said that. So Lisa comes in because Lisa ain't got no problem saying I said it, and I said what I said.
But it wasn't even Lisa that said it. It was Brooks.
Mm-hmm. But Lisa did question, why was she so dead set on talking shit about Stansberry to me and then to turn around and be up her butt. So I get where she's coming from, but she confronts Nina and basically says like, yeah, it looks like you moving a little funny. You was over here and you was kind of acting like, I don't really fuck with her. And then all of a sudden y'all come out, we're brothers. We're happy. Like, it's just real. It's giving.
I see you didn't go on with the song.
Because they're not colored. But I was just trying to get you. So Nina does, well, basically, she doesn't apologize, but she's like, I don't know what you guys want me to do.
She just
Like,
basically says that, yeah, she did talk
fine. Like, what
shit.
do you want me to do? I
She's
had to
like,
go
she
after
did
her.
talk shit in the past, but now she got to know her, and she was basically repeating things that she heard about her. And Lisa feels like this is really the bitch we need to watch.
Yeah. And then Nina lets us know after they go outside and smoke their hashish that I think that's it, or with shisha.
Shisha.
Once they go outside and smoke their shisha, and of course,
Hookah.
me and Brooks have that one thing in common because you can tell she is lit. But but yeah, no, Nina lets us know that they are going to be doing a sound bath the next day. She has invited one of her friends to hopefully mellow out the vibes and the mood. And I don't know if you guys know, but we've done that, and it's actually a very peaceful experience and beautiful. And I actually got to go.
And actually, what's the girl's name? Sarah was right. She was saying that the vibrations just kind of put you in a space where you don't hear, feel, or it's just blank. It's like and that is really what it does.
It's nice. I suggest you people try it.
So the ladies are up and about. Sarah's on the phone with her son while Stansberry is in her room on the phone with her assistant. Apparently the house she was living in is rented, and now it's being sold. So we also know that the house, what'd you say?
She got to go, and
she got to go.
Her lovely home that is being built is not ready yet.
Yeah. So now she is also even regretting hosting this gathering here, and says this is the worst reception. Then Lisa and Brooks are in the bathroom discussing the conversation between Stansberry and Ion, and feel like Ion got so upset because a lot of people don't see models as multifaceted. And apparently Ion is. And Lisa says, it's also hard being a Black woman as well. She's a Black, huge model. Okay. And you always have to prove yourself. Now, Ion is in the room with her in the room on the phone with her husband, Chris, as she's packing to go home, and said she's missing him and even had on his drawers all week long. We need to know all that.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I said that's special. Whatever y'all do to remain close.
That's super duper special. Then she goes through the conversation that she had with Stansberry the night before, and says, she's a big model. She's booked model. She's booked musicians, dancers, and she is connected. Okay. Basically, don't come for me.
Y'all better put some respect on her name.
Period. She says not everybody can work on Instagram. Some people got to do real work. And her husband lets her know you are the most loving, caring, real individual I know. And don't let that shit bother you, boo.
I thought that was so cute.
Yes.
Just bigged her up. Like,
yes, he did. Super cute. So, she gets emotional and says that she's just tired of fighting and having to explain who she is and what she does, and it's exhausting. But she does say that she's going to have a conversation with Miss Stansberry.
Yes, she feels like Stansberry doesn't really want to get to know who she is, and Chris encourages her to let her know who you are. And if you don't like it, buddy. The ladies, they are attending a sound bath. It looks very relaxing. It actually, as we said, it is very relaxing. Now I don't know about this tea that they were drinking.
It was cacao. It's a chocolate, but it's supposed to be like some type of medicine for your heart, apparently.
I'm good. I'll just go eat a cupcake or something.
Actually, when they said it, so I guess maybe it's like in its purest form. So normally stuff in its purest form is really doesn't taste the best. It's just
Right.
good for you. But when they said chocolate, I was like, oh, okay, that's what we doing. We drinking chocolate out the cup. What type of this is hot chocolate? What we doing?
Right. No.
But seeing the ladies' faces after they took a sip, yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah. No. No, but Brooks is not here for the bees of it all. Apparently, she says she is highly allergic.
She can't even focus on the sound bath because they're buzzing all around her.
And
she don't got an EpiPen.
Right. And she don't want bees climbing up her back. And she just says this is not really her idea of a vacation, well, laying out here on the grass, hearing, listening to people say namaste.
She said she just want to be fabulous.
And I said, you know what? I can't be mad at you with that one.
I can't either.
Because I always take my workout clothes and don't ever work out when I'm on vacation. But I be going there in the mindset like, yeah, it's gonna be so nice. You're gonna run on the beach and da-da-da. I don't ever do that shit.
I feel like I have if I plan to do that, I'm not gonna bring workout clothes to do it. It'll just be like something that just happens. Like maybe I'm in my bathing suit and some shorts or something like that, and it just happens. But I'm never planning to exercise while I'm on vacation. Never in the plan. Not even a thought in my mind.
You're stupid. As the ladies are finishing their session, we notice a jet ski pull up, and obviously we know it's gonna be Sergio's crazy ass.
Here he comes, who saves the day.
Her knight in shining armor. Y'all don't think this is unhealthy? Just saying.
She was crying on the phone with him last night. Hell no, I don't think that's unhealthy. Nigga, you better show up for me.
Oh, because she fake cried on the phone last night?
He don't know she fake cried. We do.
Now, Sergio shows up on his jet ski, like I told y'all he would, with his shirt off to save the day. And
what an entrance.
Most of the ladies are annoyed by this. Lisa.
Well, not most. It was just two. It was just Lisa and Ion. Ion just kind of felt like, what is he doing here on a girls' trip? And Lisa's like, if I wanted to be around male energy, I would have stayed home for this. All the other ladies kind of felt like it was romantic and chivalrous, but Brooks did feel like, I mean, I don't think it had anything to do with Sergio coming, but she felt like, why should she get to be saved in this time and not Ion? So
giving Susie.
There you go. Susie.
So
definitely giving
yes,
Susie.
and obviously Caroline is enamored and so happy to see Sergio, and was like, this is, she's happy he crashed the party because she didn't want to do it anymore, and she feels like a weight has been lifted. Now Ion goes back to her room and she gets emotional, and she's talking to Lisa and Stansberry, and she's basically just saying that like she felt like Caroline tried to belittle her and make her feel like she was nothing but just a model and she hasn't achieved anything for real. And so that frustrated her. And Lisa just talks about how, she thinks it's kind of like,
I know she said that Black women have this stigma about them that, people think that they're tough and, they can just take it and get over it, and that we don't need emotional support.
Right.
And says, why are Ion's feelings less valid than Caroline's, that she needs to have her, man come in and save her versus, Ion having to deal with it on her own. So.
Right.
And I know Brooks agrees as well.
They sit down to kind of, relax and have a drink before their departure. And as they do, or before they do, Ion lets Stansberry know that she wants to have a conversation with her. So basically, she tells her that, when I was saying to you that basically
I'm more successful
than you, she was like, I was basically just saying
it had nothing to do with money. Yeah.
It had nothing to do with money. But then Caroline was like, well, you said successful in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, and when I said that, I meant, I've been taking modeling or taking care of my brother.
I actually have everything she said. She said that she's been working since she was 7. She paid for her brothers and sisters' college. She takes care of her mom. She bought her mom a house, and she takes care of her family. And says it has nothing to do with finances. She says she's very proud of who she is and where she comes from. Um, and Stansberry says that she she's like she was actually sticking up for her. And in the confessional, she says that she understands where she comes from and the fight that she had to get to where she is, but feels that Ion's not listening. She feels that every time she, needs to raise herself up, she has to put Stansberry down. And, she says that she's sorry that she thought she said something that she didn't, but she was actually bigging her up. She understands that Stansberry, what Stansberry said, and she says that she took it the wrong way, and it wasn't her intention. And Stansberry lets her know, that it's really sad, and she's sorry that she feels that she has to fight her corner because, like when she's around friends that care for her and love her, because she shouldn't have to feel that way. Ion basically says that she really just felt that she was belittling her, and Stansberry's like, well, the whole conversation I was uplifting all the women at the table, so why would I point you specifically out and just belittle you and put you down?
Right.
So she says that last night just threw her for a loop. She needs a couple days, and she's sure that they'll be fine. And she asked her to be less defensive with her. And Stansberry says that she has no reason to make her feel small. And Ion just says thank you. And it looks like they'll be able to move forward from this.
Well, Sergio and Stansberry are unpacking their temporary apartment until their new home is ready. Now, she feels like as they're having this discussion, we learn that she's getting injections so she can increase her egg count, because we all know they're trying to have a baby. And she feels like he needs to know what it's like to carry a baby since, she out here doing all this. And clearly because he has absolutely no clue whatsoever about conception.
But he does have 85 million sperm floating.
Oh, okay. We got
that he is willing to spare, apparently.
Now, Sergio is wearing a watermelon. They have decided to tape a watermelon to him so he can somewhat experience what it is like to actually carry a child. Now, Brooks comes over and sees this foolishness and basically says, I don't know what Stansberry is doing, but if that's what you want to do, and wear watermelons around the house. But she said, please no, I am not laughing with you. I am laughing
at you.
Now, Brooke sits her down because she just wants to see if she's okay. And after whatever, everything that happened over the weekend with Ion, and she says, it was like a lot. And basically Stansberry feels like, Ion uses the lack of English or, bad English as an excuse to be rude. Even though she was married to an American for 17 years. Now, she feels like Ion never really thanked her. But of course, Bravo's slick with it and they're going to run back them receipts. And obviously she absolutely did.
A couple times.
Right, a couple times. Now, Stansberry feels like anytime she tried to get comfortable with Ion, it almost gets thrown back at her because as we know, she's had her over the house. There have been situations throughout the seasons where we've seen her extend an olive branch, I guess you could say. Now, Brooke suggests, and did she bring her a gift?
No.
Right. Now, Brooks agrees or feels like a lot of this may not necessarily just be Ion. She basically hints that she feels like Lisa is a puppet master and controlling Ion's every move. And basically that Lisa doesn't like Stansberry, so it makes sense.
Well, Stansberry don't care. She says she don't want no puppets around her.
Right. So then they're sitting there and they get interrupted by Sergio, and him and his watermelon, and then
his cantaloupes. He got cantaloupes saran wrap to his boobs too.
Well, that's about accurate.
Super heavy.
Right. Now, as they're laughing at Sergio, I guess apparently not Brooks, Stansberry, gets recycled.
Oh, it's probably for an egg retrieval.
Oh, yes, yes.
It's probably for an egg retrieval because that's when you get your eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was lost initially. But apparently she wasn't supposed to be drinking, and she was. And Sergio, of course, bends to her, pours her some more, and says, "Okay, we won't do it this cycle. We'll wait 2 weeks." And Brooks is like, 2 weeks? Your menstrual doesn't last 2 weeks. Do we need to go back to the birds and the bees, like, or learn how to conceive? Like, what? You really are married to a whole child. So Ion and Sarah are going to see a hypnotherapist, and she says Sarah told her that hypnotherapy helped her, so she believes, it could help her too. Ion says that she woke up in good energy. It's because she's surrounded by Sarah. Now she's sitting down with the therapist, and she explains that she's a happy human being, but sometimes she gets jealous watching the relationship that her husband and son have, because really it's something she's never experienced. So she gives the therapist her history of, where she was born. And she asked, the therapist asked for her history of from like 0 to 5. And she says she doesn't have a lot of memories of when she was 5 because she feels like she blocked some things out of her memory. But she does remember living with her mom and dad and brothers, and remembers a lot of crying. She says that her mom cried a lot. There was a lot of sadness and beatings and a lot of pain. Now, she says at the age of 5, her aunt and her grandmother came to pick her up, her and her sister, and they cooked. They had like a beautiful day. It was amazing. And the next morning around 6 a.m., they took them to this man's house, tied them to the bed, and circumcised them. She says she was around 5 and her sister was around 6.5. She says her mom had no idea that this was even happening. And when she wanted to get married, she had to go back to the doctor, get it opened up because it was sewn shut, and waited until it was healed. And says, she has a lot of pain in her life. And apparently they do this there to make sure that you stay a virgin so that the family can get the dowry. And she says it's effed up, and it's torture, and it's abuse. She says that she also reconnected with her father around the age of 13, and he tried to sell her off at 14
to be married.
She says she didn't. Basically, she says that it would have happened if her older sister, didn't protect her. And she says she actually loves life. She loves to be happy. She has a good family. She has a good life, but those are the saddest things in her life. Now, the hypnotherapist tells her that she can't erase the memories that she's had, but she can lessen the attachment that she has to them. So she puts her in her hypnotherapy trance, and afterwards, Ion says that she feels lighter and like a mountain was lifted off of her shoulders. As she's leaving, the room and greeting Sarah back outside, she tells her that she feels dizzy and sleepy, but she feels much better and she's definitely coming back. So she says she's going to go home, take a nap, eat some noodle soup, and Sarah suggests listening to some classical music and just relaxing. She said, or I could listen to some Nicki Minaj.
I love it.
Ion, we love you. We love you, Ion. But this scene was super duper emotional. There was a lot that was going on. And it's dope to find out more of, what she went through, because we can see that Ion is having some struggles, some battles, but we didn't know it was this deep. So it's dope that she opened up and we get to see it.
Thank you guys. for tuning in to another review of the Real Housewives of Dubai. We will catch you tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, Thursday. I get it. You'll get, put it like this. You'll get it before Friday. I get it. I get it.
But 9 times out of 10, we'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we'll be here tomorrow, but not for this. Not for this.
Yeah, not for this.
So yes, please make sure if you have not, you hit the like button,
you comment,
you subscribe,
and you hit the notification bell.
And please make sure that you're following us on all of our platforms, TikTok, Twitter. I see us growing and glowing. Please make sure that you're sharing us with your friends. And y'all, let's keep it going. Let's build up the Shade Squad. Go purchase your shady glasses from Alicia. IG information is in the bio. But yes, guys, thank you so much for your support. We love you, appreciate you. And we may be a little off because we got to take one more trip before the summer over. We got to do a little girls thing. But we are going to take the recording gear. So maybe we'll switch it up and do, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, love you, and have a good night.
Good night.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!